I am at the Schönbrunn Palace and Gardens in Vienna, Austria. This is one of the most historic and fabulous palace complexes in the world, perhaps rivaled only by Versailles. In this video we will explore the grounds of the palace, which has a lot of unique features. Now I will not actually be going inside the palace, as they do not allow photography inside. That is a terrible and nonsensical rule, so I will not pay to go in as much as I do want to see the inside. I really hope they will consider changing that. Schönbrunn Palace is located about 5 kilometers from the historic center of Vienna, so until the 19th century it was more so on the outskirts of the city. It largely served as the summer palace of the Habsburgs, who historically would winter at the Hofburg inside the city. The land, which already had a mansion and bountiful game, was purchased by Maximilian II in 1589 to serve as a court hunting ground. However, the Habsburg hunting lodge was destroyed during the last Ottoman attack on Vienna in 1683. So in 1695, construction of the current palace was begun, under direction of one of the greatest Baroque architects, Johann Bernhard Fischer von Erlach. He designed other wonderful Viennese structures such as the Karlskirche and the State Hall at the Hofburg. Throughout the 1740s, Empress Maria Theresa finished the construction of Schönbrunn and the grounds. Architect Nicolas Picassi continued on Erlach's designs to complete the glorious palace, and not too much has changed since the late 18th century overall, although back then it was not painted yellow. While the Imperial family had traditionally used this as a day trip location in the past, it became a full-time royal residence with Maria Theresa, who preferred Schönbrunn over the Hofburg. The sovereigns after Maria Theresa did not make full use of Schönbrunn until Franz Josef. The emperor truly loved Schönbrunn. He was born here in 1830 and died here in 1916. Napoleon did use the east wing of Schönbrunn twice in 1805 and 1809 as his quarters. Directly across the garden is the Gloriette, a rather unique structure towering over the grounds on that hill. But first we'll begin going through the gardens of Schönbrunn, perhaps the most beautiful palatial gardens in Europe. After the Habsburgs were exiled in World War I, the palace and its grounds fell to the new states. Nowadays it's operated by a public-private partnership. The story didn't end there, as in 1961 the Vienna summit discussions took place at the palace. It was here that US President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev met for the first and only time. Schönbrunn is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the Kammergarten, one of the 2 original Baroque gardens that flank the palace. One great feature of Schönbrunn that I did visit because they allow photography is the Imperial Carriage Museum, which displays some incredible historic vehicles used by the Imperial family and others. I definitely recommend checking out that video if you're interested. This is the Rose Garden of Schönbrunn, which is not quite in bloom yet. This is the Palmen House of Schönbrunn, one of the largest conservatories in the world, and the last great one ever built in this style. This massive greenhouse was built in 1892, opened by Kaiser Franz Josef, and is composed of over 600 tons of wrought iron and 120 tons of cast iron. It's quite an impressive structure. It houses over 4,500 different plant species inside from around the globe, including a 350-year-old olive tree. I was hoping to go inside and visit, but it turned out not to be included in the Vienna Pass, like most Schönbrunn attractions with separate admissions. so I did not pay the extra to go inside. By the way, entry into the palace is also not included in the Vienna Pass. I was able to get inside the Wüstenhaus, or the Desert House, and that is great. It's a 1905 greenhouse that was built to house valuable species during winter, but has been converted into a desert botanical garden, and that is also featured in a separate video linked in the description. There is a Japanese friendship garden near the Palmen House. The gardens look magnificent in early May, but apparently there was still much to bloom. That is an equatorial sundial. This is a miniature version of the Kaiser Joseph II equestrian statue that's outside the State Hall of the Hofburg. And here's an old monument to Holy Roman Emperor Franz Stephan, the husband of Maria Theresa. Schönbrunn is actually home to the world's oldest zoo, the Tiergarten Schönbrunn. The Imperial menagerie was started in 1752 by Franz Stephan, and it is the oldest zoo in the entire world still in operation. I had to see that, and actually it's one of the best zoos I've ever been to. I feature that in a separate video that is linked in the description. A Herculean effort is required to keep these gardens intact, especially to keep the trees on the pathways nice and trimmed. It really is immaculate. The Great Parterre of Schönbrunn has 32 historic sculptures representing mythological deities and virtues. They were created in the 1770s. Another interesting attraction of the Schönbrunn Gardens is the Labyrinth. This also has its own admission, but it was included in my Vienna Pass, so I figure we'll try it out. I am going to try to find my way around the hedge maze to get to the observation platform in the center. Labyrinths, which can more accurately be called hedge mazes, were popular features of private Baroque gardens in the 18th century, so it's great they still have one here continuing on that heritage of getting lost in the shrubbery. Schönbrunn dates back to 1720. Several labyrinths have existed in these gardens over the centuries. The current ones were created in the 1990s. Okay, this is actually a bit harder than I thought it would be. Alright, I've made it to the little observation platform. Let's check out the views over Schönbrunn. Looks like I was just wandering around a Greek key pattern. There are actually 3 different mazes here, although I am just going to do this one. So the labyrinths are a fun spot to visit at Schönbrunn. These are the Harmony Stones. A nearby placard says the large stone represents the male principal, while the small one represents the female principal, and they transfer harmony between partners when touched. That's an interesting addition to this children's attraction. At the foot of the Gloriette Hill is the Neptune Fountain, which was added in the late 1770s. Unfortunately, they do not run this fountain often. Actually, I do not believe they ran it at all today. Alright, I am going to ascend this ginormous hill, but first I'm going to take a back way up. This is the Gloriette of Schloss Schönbrunn. Erlach, the original palace architect, planned to build the main palace here atop the hill, but it was built below, and for decades it stared at this empty hillside. So in 1775, the Gloriette was constructed to give the palace something grand to face off with. It definitely has a militaristic aura to it, as it is designed like a Baroque triumphal archway. It says erected under the reign of Kaiser Joseph II and Kaiser Maria Theresa. It is a monument to just war, a justified war being any war that leads to peace. That's at least what Maria Theresa thought she had engaged in during her reign. The monumental sculptures on the Gloriette are fascinating. Just look at all the details on there. That is so awesome. The Gloriette has always had a more decorative purpose than anything else, but it was used as a dining hall and breakfast room by Franz Josef. The Gloriette is now a restaurant. Here's a peek inside. There's a double-headed eagle, the coat of arms of the Habsburgs. The Gloriette was severely damaged by bombings during World War II, but it was swiftly rebuilt. Here are some remains of the original bomb-damaged sculptures. There is a spectacular view over Schönbrunn Palace and the city of Vienna from the Gloriette. The city center is over there. Otto Wagner's gold domed church at Steinhof is prominently noticeable from here. Now I'm going to start walking down the switchbacks of the hill. I'm now on the back side of the Neptune Fountain. This 18th century fountain has fantastic sculptural details. This is one of the most unique features of the Schönbrunn Gardens, the Roman ruins. No, they are not real ancient Roman ruins. They are folly ruins built in 1778, designed by Johann Ferdinand Hetzendorf von Hohenberg, who also designed the Gloriette. It features a classic Roman archway, flanked by 2 crumbling walls, which surround a pool. Picturesque fake ruins became popular fixtures of parks and gardens in the Romantic era. Schönbrunn means beautiful spring in German, and that name originates from the fair spring, now housed by this beautiful Tempietto. Inside there is a sculpture of Egeria pouring out the spring water from a vase. Another amazing folly of Schönbrunn is the Obelisk Grotto. This magnificent sculpture was built in 1777, another example of the Romantic fascination with antiquity during the late 18th century. The Egyptian-style obelisk, complete with hieroglyphics, stands atop 4 golden turtles, who in turn stand on a fantastic man-made grotto. Throughout this highly detailed grotto, there are sculptures of river gods and a variety of animals. There are even sculptured stalactites on the grotto ceiling. There is also a fountain, however it appears to be off as well. The water must pour out of that big mouth. This obelisk grotto is tremendous. It's a real treasure. So that was my first visit to Schönbrunn, a beautiful one-of-a-kind place. Again, I would have loved to have gone inside the palace and showed you that, so I hope they will reverse their photography ban in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I have videos on other palaces, castles, historic locations, museums, gardens, and much more across Europe and America. I do have several other episodes filmed today at Schönbrunn. Those are linked in the description. And thanks for watching.